Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a very long time. Life caught up to me, but I'm still into gaming, still into collecting, and I thought what better way to get back into the swing of things by showing you probably one of my best pickups ever. So let's get into it. Let's take a look here. So what I'm showing you right now is I have a Switch up for trade on Facebook Marketplace, and this person reaches out to me and just says, hey, how's it going? I honestly have so many games, original Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Dreamcast, and N64. N64 Games original boxes have been sitting on them for a while. Since they came out, not really wanting to put the time and effort into selling on eBay or posting them. Just kind of want to get a general idea since they know that I am looking to resell some, if not all, but we'll get into that in just a moment. And at this point, this is always something that you want to see as a collector and a reseller. You want someone to reach out to you and say, hey, buy my stuff. So at that point, I say, yes, I'm very interested. I asked where they're located. They tell me where they're located, and they said you can always come by and take a look at agreed upon time. I said, perfect, that sounds great to me. And I asked if they could send me some pictures just so I have a general idea of what they have available. So they said, sure thing, they'd go ahead and send that information over, and then we could kind of work out a price whenever I come and take a look at it. So these are the pictures that they sent over, and I immediately know, just by looking at the first picture, this is something I definitely have to go check out. So if we take a look at the first picture, you can see a Super Nintendo in there. There's a black game bag, not really sure what could be in there. An AV switcher sitting on top there. You can kind of see a Game Shark poking out of a plastic bag. And then in the bottom right corner, you can see Super Mario 64 box. Not sure if there's anything in there, but there's definitely the box. And a Super Nintendo cartridge kind of sitting on top of that. It looks like a LJN game, but not really sure what it is just based off of looking at that. If we go to the next picture, this next picture, you can clearly see there's a Super Mario 64. At least there's a box. Maybe there's a manual, maybe there's a game inside, but just the box in itself is something, as a collector, you just get excited to see. You can also see right below that, you can see the backside of Diddy Kong Racing for the 64, that box as well. Over on the side, you can see Star Wars Shadows of the Empire, and then you can also see Arcade's Greatest Hits for the Super Nintendo. After that, you can kind of see a couple of loose carts sitting off to the left-hand side as well. Not really sure what they are, but let's take a look at the next picture. So this next picture, you can actually see a little bit further to the left, so you can actually see some more box games, and the one that I got most excited over, you can see right here, it is Pokemon Snap. You can see a Pokemon Snap box in there, and as a huge Pokemon fan, I have my Pokemon collection right back here. I love seeing boxed, complete Pokemon games, especially the older ones with the cartridge base. It's great to be able to see them because you don't run into those very often. Also, you can see X-Men 2 on the Genesis. There's a box there. And you can kind of see Donkey Kong Country for the Super Nintendo, a cartridge just sitting there a little bit below those boxes as well. Then if we go to the last picture, this picture, no box games, but it has a lot of content in here that we can take a look at. So looking at this picture, you can see there is Goldeneye right there in the middle of the picture. On top of that, there's a Pokemon Stadium. You have some Spider-Man on the Super Nintendo, Street Fighter on the Super Nintendo, obviously an N64 sitting right there. And you can also see a Game Shark kind of at the bottom of that picture there. So after looking at all of these pictures, I immediately am just wanting to go and meet up with this person right away and buy it, because at this point, you never know if they're reaching out to other people, waging interest, kind of seeing who the highest bidder is. There's so much competition out there with these games, you can never be too careful. So I immediately am like, when can we meet? When can we meet? When can we meet? And then the conversation kind of went into this direction. So after we agree on a time and a day to meet up, right before I head out, I just like to confirm with everybody that I'm meeting that we're still good to go. So I send this message, just says, just wanted to reach out and make sure that we're still good to go for later today. And then what you don't ever want to see, especially with a meetup like this, the person had to cancel. This person says, thanks for reaching out. Unfortunately, I now have to go out of town for business, so I won't be able to meet until next week, so I can reach out to you this coming weekend. You never know if they're looking to shop prices. You don't know if they're telling the truth, they're being honest, if they decided to maybe sell to someone else. So you never like to see this kind of stuff. So I kind of wage a little bit more interest, try to carry the conversation just to let this person know I am willing to purchase what you have and I'm willing to pay a decent price for what you have, especially since there's some potential complete in box items. So this is where the conversation. So just quickly glancing at some of this additional conversation, the person actually was recommended by some of their family members to possibly look at selling this on their own to make the biggest bang for their buck. So after all of this, you definitely don't want to see this. And fortunately for me, this individual decides that, hey, I just really would rather not deal with that headache and that issue of selling each item individually. They're not a full-time seller. They're not even a part-time seller. It's just stuff that they've had for a very long time that they don't need anymore. So they said that they would reach out to me in a few weeks whenever things have calmed down on their side. And at this point, it's just a waiting game. And you hope that they reach back out. You don't want to bombard them. You don't want to stress them out with blowing up their messages. So you do have to give people some time and just hope for the best. Well, of course, this person reached back out. This wouldn't be much of a video if they didn't. So this is the message I got maybe a few weeks later. Said, all right, I'm ready to get it all gone. Free today after 4, Thursday after 4, and all day Saturday. When you have something like this on the line, you want to do it as soon as possible. So today at 4 worked best. And we scheduled it, and I headed that way. And this is kind of a little bit of a clip here and there of what I was walking into. I didn't record the full thing. I didn't feel comfortable just walking into someone's house recording. But I did get a couple of clips, and let's go ahead and take a look at those. All right, so I just got to his house. I'm going to be going through all of this. We got some Dreamcast stuff there, whatever the heck this thing is, N64, some Genesis games in there. Big old box of, looks like a lot of N64 games, some NES games down here, Super Nintendo, and we got some box stuff as well. So I'm going to go ahead and start processing this. I told him I'm looking to probably pay about 50% of value, and he's cool with that. So we'll see what in the world we got. I've already looked up those three, which, anyways, overwhelming, a lot of stuff. I'm probably a little over halfway in processing. It's a lot. But I have to keep going because we're on a time crunch. He has to leave soon. So yeah, this just happened. Unbelievable. Paid $11.20 for it all. Awesome deal. Jeez.
All right, so we're just going to do a voiceover on this picture of everything that was picked up. Starting at the bottom right, a couple of Game Gear systems, Game Gear games, N64 games. You have some loose games, Kirby 64, heavy hitters, Pokemon Stadium 2, Zelda Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Uncommon Star Soldier. Right above that, we have some box N64 games. A lot of these have gone into the collection, but also going to be selling off some of the duplicate copies that I have. Over a little bit towards the right there's a Tiger R-Zone along with some Tiger R-Zone games. I was very unfamiliar with these games, and there were some really awesome games there. One of them being Panzer Dragoon, which is very I didn't know that even came out on the system, and that it goes for at least $100, which is amazing because I honestly didn't even know what I was getting there. If we go a little bit farther to the left, we're going to have some Super Nintendo games in the box, some really awesome ones, Turtles in Time, X-Men, Turok. Below that, you're going to have some cart-only games for the Super Nintendo. You got Yoshi's Island there. You have Super Mario Kart, of course, Mario RPG. Going a little bit more to the left, you have some NES cartridges, Simon's Quest, Super Mario 2, Super Mario 3, Final Fantasy. You also have some in-box NES games. Above that, we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, The Manhattan Project, which is a really awesome thing to come across. This was like a rental box. So what they did is they actually put styrofoam, like a styrofoam brick inside the box, and then they sealed with like saran wrap or, basically resealed the box so that whenever people would get them off of the racks and the shelves to rent them, it wasn't damaging the box, and they can continuously reuse the same box. We do have some Sega Genesis games, Batman Forever, X-Men 2, complete Super Mario 3 in the box, Ninja Gaiden 2 in the box. Going a little bit farther to the right, you have Super Empire Strikes Back for the Star Wars series there. A couple of Dreamcast games. The Resident Evil 3 is disc with the manual. It just doesn't have the case. The Code Veronica was missing a disc, so that's unfortunate. But still, overall, really, really good haul. Got a couple of Super Nintendo systems, a Sega Genesis Model 3, a Dreamcast, a couple of NES systems, and a couple of N64 systems, one of them having the expansion pack. Overall, paying just over $1,100 for this, it's definitely well worth over $3,000. So after fees and stuff, it's going to be easy double up. Plus, I get to add some of these awesome games to my collection.
So as you can see, that was an incredible haul. It's probably one of the best I've ever had this entire time being a collector and a reseller. I'm really excited to add some of those items to my collection. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time, definitely going into the collection. The Pokemon Snap ended up being a condition upgrade, so I was happy to get that added to the collection as well. There's a few other things that I'm looking to add. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 for the NES, definitely going into the collection. F-Zero X being added to the collection as well. I had a cart only, so being able to upgrade to a complete in box was an awesome addition. Kind of going forward with this channel, in addition to doing pickups, I also thought maybe kind of doing a behind the scenes for resellers in regards to the condition that we buy things in versus the condition that we have to get them in to sell them. As a reseller or as a collector, I'm sure some of you all know we don't always get things in the condition that we prefer them to be into, so there is a little bit of elbow grease and a little bit of cleaning that has to be involved. So if that's something you'd like to see, the progress of getting those cleaned up to a condition that's suitable for our collections or for reselling, definitely leave a comment below and thumbs up the video. That wages a little bit of interest for me so I can get this channel back on a roll. Until next time, I appreciate everyone coming to check out the video, and I'll see you all then.